Oh, dang it. Man, I'm just out here hiking and I just snapped this ankle. I don't think I'm going to be able to walk out on it, so I'm going to be stuck here for the night. That sucks. And I'm a terrible actor. I know I am. But anyway, the reason I'm laying down there, acting like a fool, acting like I snapped an ankle or whatever, is because it's pretty possible. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually a very realistic thing to happen. You walk in the woods, there's a lot of sticks and all that kind of stuff, and it's very easy to trip and fall, break a leg, you know, twist an ankle, whatever the case may be. And if you're alone, then that's going to present a problem to you. And maybe you can limp out if it's just a sprain, but if you really bust it, if you actually, you know, broke a leg or something like that, yeah, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a tough situation. And I spend a lot of time in the woods alone, you know, and I always let my family know where I'm going. I always, you know, let them know where I'm at and when I should be home and all that kind of stuff. And I totally recommend that you guys do. You do the same thing, you know. But if you guys spend time in the woods, which I'm sure a lot of you guys do, and especially if you're kind of out and away, you know, from civilization and that kind of thing, like I am, you really should consider getting a spot GPS transponder. I recently picked this one up. This is, I think it's their first generation one. So I didn't pay too much for it. I'll stick in the link here. I think it was like $69 or $79 on Amazon, something along those lines. And this is a really cool deal. You do have to pay for a service with it, and to be able to message and that kind of thing. I want to say that the service cost about $200 for 2 years, something along those lines. Not a bad deal though, considering. You know, for 10 to 12 bucks a month, you have the ability to signal someone and let them know several things. Actually, you can let them know that you're okay by sending that, and you can go into their website and you can program what that message is and what it'll say. You can also alert SOS, which will call the rescue center, and they will send professional rescue forces out to get you immediately. And this is kind of a no-joke thing, because that could end up costing you some money, which, you know, you wouldn't care if you were really hurt and in need of help, but just, you don't want to test that or anything like that. And then you also have the other like I need some help button, and that's kind of a deal where, you know, like kind of like today here, I was acting like I, you know, rolled my ankle or whatever, or broke my leg or something. I might not necessarily have to call the rescue folks if I'm in a place where I think that my friends or my wife or whatever the case may be, where they might be able to come and get me. So I could use that button in that case. And then they've also got a custom message feature, and you can plug in what that custom message is. I think what I plugged into mine was, you know, everything's fine, I'm okay, but I'm running late, and I'm gonna, you know, be several hours behind schedule, something like that. So kind of a cool deal. Takes 3 AAA lithium only batteries. It's got a pretty good life to it too. I don't have the stats on me, so I'll kind of put them in here somewhere. It is all waterproof and built for the outdoors. It's, you know, kind of rugged, and it's got some rubber around it so that it can be dropped and those kind of things. You know, it's a nice sturdy little piece of gear. But, you know, a lot of people talk about what the most important piece of survival gear is, and all that kind of stuff. And I would submit to you that in a non shit hit the fan or grid down situation, if you spend time out in the backwoods, this is probably the most important piece of survival gear that you can have on you. because you know it gives a precise location. I'll kind of show you here what it looks like whenever I'm just seeing if I got the message, because I sent one earlier. It doesn't look like I did. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes through. Sometimes the message could be delayed for up to 20 minutes or something like that. So it'll send the precise geocodes to where you're at, so that you know your friends or family or the rescue center or whatever can come and get you. Now that's going to reduce the recovery time significantly, and you know, basically enable you to live. I mean, even if you were in a situation, you know, that was more critical, you know, maybe you were out hunting or something and you accidentally got shot, or you know, you fell on a sharp stub or something and had a penetrating chest wound or something along those lines, which are all possibilities. You know, I mean, you never know what can happen. There's always accidents and things that can happen. Having one of these is really a lifesaver, and I recommend to you guys that spend time in the woods to consider it. You know, it's a little bit of upfront cost getting the plan and all that kind of stuff, but you can put like up to 10 people on there, you know, to notify. That way, if one person's not home or whatever the case may be, it's going to notify all of them all at once. That way they all know that they could come help you. So I think that's pretty cool too. You know, I mean, say for example, you're like, well, my wife wouldn't be able to come out and get me. Well, you don't have to put her in. You could put your 5 best friends in, you know, that know the area where you're at and where you're going and all that kind of stuff, and then they can come help you. So pretty cool deal. And because it's waterproof, it can be used for, you know, rivers and canoeing and, you know, all that kind of stuff too. It doesn't have to just be going out into the woods. You know, cell phones are great while we got cell signal, and I have cell signal here. It's not a very strong one, but I do have a little bit of signal. But I routinely go out to places where I don't have any cell signal, and that's the beauty about the Spot GPS system. And there are several other systems out there too. Spot's not the only one, and Spot didn't send this to me. I purchased this myself. And I'll throw in a graphic here at the end of the video to kind of explain how this whole thing works, so you kind of get a better, you know, understanding of how it works. But essentially you don't need to have cell signal. It works off of GPS satellites, commercial satellites, and then a relay station. So anyhow, guys, this is just a pretty cool little system here, and just kind of wanted to tell you about it and let you know that it is an option that is out there for those of you who spend a lot of time in the woods. And you know, for the wives and family members that watch and stuff like that, for the guys, if your, you know, husband or somebody is somebody who spends a lot of time out away from home, you know, this is not a bad way to go at all. So I would definitely consider it. It does come with a little armband and kind of pouch too. I'm not a huge fan of how that sits in there, and I wouldn't wear it on my arm or anything like that. So this isn't really useful to me, but putting this, you know, in a pack or whatever is. So anyhow, guys, just wanted to let you know what I think is probably the most important piece of survival gear that you can have on you in a non-shit hit the fan or non-grid down situation. Obviously, if the grid's down, satellites aren't working, all that kind of stuff, this is nothing but a paperweight. It ain't good to you. But since the chances of all that happening are pretty slim, and we do live in a real world with technology all around us and all that kind of stuff, and you know, a lot of us spend a lot of time in the woods, this could be pretty useful. About 14,000 people a year go missing, or, you know, need search and rescue in the United States alone, just in our park systems. So this could save your life. Anyway, guys, I definitely appreciate it when you share it with your friends, and if you click thumbs up and all that good stuff. Don't forget to live the 6 P's. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.